What's going on YouTube? My name is Opon. Welcome to the studio. Who has the better instrument player, the better content library? Is it Spitfire Labs or Kontakt? If you only had to choose one to make your music, all the sounds instruments to come from one of those plugins, who would you choose? Kontakt or Spitfire Labs? I did just that. If you're interested in how that went, watch the video. All right, so we're going to start with Kontakt, doing pros and cons. My experience using Kontakt, they have a really big, extensive sound library. You don't only have the native sounds from native instruments, but you also have third-party plugins and developers that can make instruments for Kontakt. And the two beats that I made were using all free instruments. So you have a very extensive library with Kontakt and also really good sounds. This is a MIDI guitar that I've used using just Kontakt. Playing MIDI guitar is very hard. At least for me, it's a difficult thing to get the hang of because it's not playing just your typical chords, because that's not how a guitar player plays. There's strumming and different things that take place. This free Kontakt instrument, which is called Shreddage. Let's look at the name here. Shreddage 3 Stratus, and there's also a bass version, which is here. And the bass version is called Shreddage 3 Precision. Two free plugins. Listen to this guitar. Right, that strum sound, that slow strum. I mean, you can't get that. That was, I've not been able to replicate that on any other guitar MIDI. Also, I mean, I'm not the best producer, nor am I at all the best MIDI player, but to be able to get that strictly MIDI, I didn't draw that in. So to be able to get that with this, with a MIDI keyboard and get that to sound the way that it does, I thought was pretty impressive. Also, if you have a modulation wheel, I just used my Akai MPK, the red knob here. I used that. Interestingly enough, though, I did not know you could do this. I used my actual Casio keyboard, full key keyboard that does not have a mod wheel or anything, and then use the little mod knob, since it's not a wheel, joystick on the Akai, and was able to get that modulation in using two different virtual instruments, MIDI controllers. So that was actually pretty dope that I was able to do that. That's outside of the plugin though. Another perk with Kontakt, you're also able to load your outs to separate outs if you have if you're using a drum or anything, edit your kick, snare, hi-hats, all that stuff separately. You don't have to edit it on the same track. I made both of the beats on Kontakt and Spitfire with the same order of events. I started with the drum. So I started with this drum here. Right, and then I went from that to adding in the bass. That Kontakt bass shreddage is a crazy pluck bass for a nice funky little pluck bass sound. Right, I went from the bass then to these keys, which I Eternal Earth. Right, and if I just solo this key, just so you can see what this Eternal whatever is, that's what that sounds like. Eternal Earth. And then again, here we go into the guitar. which I just absolutely loved for an electric guitar, acoustic guitar, which obviously this is an electric preset, but you can also make an acoustic preset. That sound, that live sounding play, ridiculous. But this is the whole beat that we made with Kontakt. Leave a comment below what you think made the better beat, Kontakt or Spitfire. So here we go. Now, the cons of using Kontakt, that at all was not easy to do. That was not easy to do at all. Let me rephrase that. Kontakt has been the most annoying VST virtual instrument player I have ever used. Between UJam, Waves, any other instrument you can imagine. Our instrument player, Sound Library Bank, Kontakt has been the most aggravating. For one, I kept getting errors saying that my samples were lost. They all don't show up here for some reason. Like Eternal Earth, you can't even see it here. I mean, unless I don't know what I'm doing. And see, look, that was hypo, which you wouldn't even have been able to know I had. Sound type, like, I don't even know. Character, impact, like, how do I even see the different type of plugin? Is that just me or what? So that's been annoying. I cannot tell you how many times I would open this back up, go to try to play an instrument, and it would say can't find sound. Make sure external drive is connected. I'd have to go through that whole process again to that and rescan so that it could find my external drive and find those sounds that were not on my hard drive. That took like 2-3 hours out of my flow when trying to make these beats. That was the most annoying annoyance with Kontakt. And also, its UI like isn't the most simple thing. Let's go into this precision bass, which first off, that whole thing is annoying. You can go here though to get your, nope, apparently not here. Yeah, here to get your other presets. And this UI was just kind of annoying. It was kind of hard to figure out like what are all these buttons to find. Like my outputs took me forever. You have to go to rack view, and then from rack view you click the view again, and then you got outputs. Why is it that way? Why can't you anyway? And then you go to single view, and while you're in single view you can no longer see your outputs here. So it took me like literally, and maybe I'm just dumb, which could be very well likely, but it took me forever through many YouTube videos on how to find the output tab for Kontakt. Maybe this is just for free instruments, but they definitely don't prioritize their free instruments. There's like 6 free instruments on the Native Instruments website that they've made, maybe even less than that. But externally, you have these other developers that are making instruments, but because they're other developers, they either don't work. Like for instance, I tried to get this organ, which again, you can't see here, but if I type in organ, it's this pipe organ. Look, what is that? It doesn't work. Like, it's stupid. So that's because it's third party. So starting with our drums. We went from there to our bass pluck. So here we got 2 different basses here, a part and a B part. So this is what the A part sounds like for the bass. Comparatively, the Kontakt bass was better, but this bass here wasn't far off. I mean, you're hearing the plucks. It sounds good enough to me. I mean, that's thick, fat, and does what I need it to do. So keys and the melody, and that on Spitfire has been what I found to be the best. And then going on next, we have the melody in Labs and Spitfire. This has been the best so far. I've not been able to find a good organ, at least for Kontakt, but for Spitfire Labs, this is ideal. Take a listen to this, what we have here layered. Right? And all that together sounds like this. Right, so pretty simple. So that's the beat for Spitfire. Now my pros and cons. Pros, pretty much contrast the cons in Kontakt, which is everything's consolidated. It doesn't seem that there's any external like other developers for the instruments. It seems like all the instruments come from just Spitfire Labs or Spitfire. So if you notice here, we have all the paid and free sounds here. It goes on more as you see it's loading there. And then you can toggle that with just the free. If you over here, you go to tier free, it'll give you just the free options. It's just a matter of downloading them. And then you have your download only, which all my downloads are free, but these are all the sounds that I've downloaded thus far. Super easy to get these on an external drive. You just download it, move it. I don't know how to do this yet to where it goes straight to a folder, but you download it. Then I moved all those downloaded files over here to my external drive. And then in the actual labs area, I just hit this ellipses down here, this 3 dots, and I hit repair. And maybe it asks me where that folder is. Maybe it doesn't. I don't know. But it automatically, actually, I think if you go here, content, yeah. Go here, content, plugin folder. And then I just route that to that external drive. And then it downloads it straight into there. If it doesn't download into there, then I just move the file, then hit repair. And it will repair it to that external drive. And then no problems. It never tells me that it can't find the sound library, and it never gets confused with that external drive. And these also have some pretty big files. Like you got 1.9 gigabytes, 1 gigabyte, 2 gigabytes for the electric guitar. So you're going to want that on an external drive, and that's easy to do within Spitfire Labs. The only cons that I have, I guess, would be that because only Spitfire are making their instruments, no external parties, it's going to take you some time for them to up that library. They're going to have to be working to add to those instruments. But the instruments are plentiful enough to get you started. The free sounds, and then obviously all those paid sounds if you want to pay for anything. But on the flip side, I have found the sounds on Kontakt to be better. The sounds might not be as quality as some of the sounds in Kontakt. That's literally it, other than the fact that there's not like a billion sounds from all these other developers. But honestly, even in Kontakt, all those sounds and instruments from these other developers are hard to find. You got to scour the internet, go to forums, see best free Kontakt sound libraries from these other companies or paid plugins from these other companies. So let's go ahead and take a listen to the beat within Labs, and then you can comment down below which beat you liked better between Kontakt and Spitfire Labs. This is the one from Spitfire Labs. But I think it was a tough fight. Kontakt came out just a little bit, despite all the challenges and difficulties and annoyances. But yeah, thanks for watching. I have been Opan. Peace.